My son asked me to walk his daughter down the aisle instead of him. I didn't know how to feel. I never imagined my son would ask me for something like this. I'm 68 years old, and I've lived long enough to see many strange turns in life, but this one still caught me off guard. Last month, my granddaughter, Lily, announced she was getting married. She's 24, gentle-hearted, and the closest thing I've had to a soft spot since my wife died 8 years ago. My son, Daniel, her father, has always loved her, but their relationship has been complicated. He was the kind of father who provided more with money than with presents. So last week he came to my house, sat at my dining table, tapping his finger like he was keeping beat to a song only he could hear. Then he said, "Dad, Lily wants you to walk her down the aisle, and I think you should." I stared at him for a moment. I thought I misheard. Me? Instead of her own father? He nodded, eyes low, like he was ashamed. She said, "You were the one who showed up. For school recitals, birthdays, everything. She said you were the steady one in her life." A part of me warmed at those words, but another part felt something sharp twist in my chest. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't want to hurt him. But inside, I wondered how it had come to this. How my own son could hand over a moment that fathers usually dream about. That night I sat on my porch, thinking back. I remembered the afternoons I picked Lily up from school because Daniel was stuck at work again. I remember the time she'd crawl into my lap after a tough day saying, "Grandpa, you always know what to say." Back in my day, moments like these weren't handed to grandfathers. But life changes, and families change with it. Still, walking her down the aisle felt like taking something from my son, even though he was the one offering it. When Lily finally came to talk to me herself, she hugged me the way she used to when she was little. "Grandpa, you were the one who taught me what kindness looks like. I want you to be the one to walk beside me." My heart melted, but I still didn't know if it was right.
The problem wasn't the honor, it was the weight of it. I met with Daniel again because I needed to hear the truth straight from him. "Son," I said, "are you really okay with this? Truly?" He let out a long breath. "I haven't been the father she deserved, and I can't rewrite the past. She loves me, but she trusts you. I won't take that from her." For the first time in a long while, I saw not the grown man he had become, but the boy I raised, the one who used to cling to my arm at a grocery store, afraid I'd walk too fast. The wedding day came quicker than I expected. I wore my best suit, what my wife always said made me look distinguished. When Lily stepped out of the dressing room in her gown, I felt my throat tighten. She looked like someone stepping into a new chapter, one I hoped would be filled with joy and gentleness. As I took her arm, she whispered, "Thank you for never giving up on me." The music started. Each step down that aisle felt like a memory. Her first day of school, her teenage years, the night she cried over heartbreaks. I walked her toward a future I wouldn't always be around to see, but at least I had walked her this far. And then I glanced at Daniel. He wasn't bitter. He wasn't jealous. He looked proud, not just of her, but of me. His eyes were wet, and he nodded as if to say, "Thank you for being what I couldn't be." For the first time, I realized this wasn't a moment stolen from a father. It was a moment shared by a family, trying to heal itself. After the ceremony, Daniel hugged me, tighter than he had in years. "Dad, maybe this is what we both needed." Walking my granddaughter down the aisle didn't replace my son. It restored something between us, something we both thought was long lost. And maybe that, more than anything, was the real blessing of the day.